Soulsavers were playing with my band Depeche Mode on a 2009 tour that we did, and they were opening for us a number of shows, and which was through a mutual friend that suggested it. It was Martin the Noble, and it kind of worked out. And so I'd sit on the side of the stage most nights and watch Mark up there singing the songs, and you know, thoroughly enjoyed it. And one night, Rich and I were just, I think, in a hallway before a show.
This is Rich Machin.
Yeah, Rich Machin and half of the team, and we were just chatting before a show and started talking about the writing process, and it turned out that we had a very sort of similar process in writing, and the way that he had written in the past with Mark was very similar to the way that I like to write with people. And so, you know, we had that conversation of like, let's do something. And now you have those conversations a lot, but so quite often nothing turns out happening. But, you know, shortly after I'd finished that tour, sure enough, I got a call from Rich, and he said, I've got something, you know, I've got something I could send you, and are you interested? So I said, send it to me, and I'll see if, you know, I'm feeling it, and see what happens. And, you know, no strings attached, and it was really like that. And that process continued for about a year, and by the end of that year, we realised we had more than enough for a record, and what seemed to be was going to could possibly be you know, a great record. You know,
the record is called "The Light, the Dead Sea," and it's out today from Soulsavers, featuring Dave Gahan, my guest, frontman for Depeche Mode, now fronting this duo of Rich Machin and Ian Glover. And you had a tough year going into this project. Malignant tumor removed, a leg injury, vocal cords. I mean,
oh yeah, I forgot about the leg.
Yeah, this was not like, you know, in your youth where maybe you brought your woes upon yourself.
Yeah.
This was just like stuff happening.
Yeah, this was life. That's right. Well, look, these things, they say, you know, will make you stronger. But and I, you know, I do feel that as well, and I also feel that they're constant reminders. You know, you're human, and you know, you're going to have obstacles that you're going to have to climb over, and things that happen in life that are out of your control. Now, you know, they also give you they're food for thought. You know, they make you think about a lot of stuff, what's important and what's not really important. The things that you know dwell on that just you know, really you shouldn't. And so, you know, as I don't know if it comes with age as well, but as I get a little older and maybe a little bit wiser, I'm able to reflect on that stuff more, and that definitely comes out in this music. I think, you know, yeah, it was kind of a tough year, but the stuff with my vocals and stuff like that, that's wear and tear. That's just stuff that's going to happen.
Right.
If you're trying to do 4 or 5 shows a week for, you know, a year or two, you're going to have some problems. But you know, the other stuff was out of my control, and you know, in lots of ways. But what it did make me do is stop and think, and stop and try and value what is important.
So, how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling great. I have no complaints at all. I have an amazing job. I have a fantastic family. My wife's listening right now. Hi, Jen. And you know, there's no, what can I say?
Yeah.
I get to make music with, you know, this really was a gift for me, this record. And the way the songs were written really taught me a lot about getting out of my own way. And there's always something there if you just show up, you know.
You said earlier that music is a learning process, and it seems that that's often the last thing that people learn, is how to get out of their own way.
Yeah, and music, and you know, music really it's like a gift. It just is floating around now. I really do believe that. Look, that's not to say you got to put some work into it. You got to put some work into it, but look, Rich, when Rich kind of gave me these things, they were gifts, and there was never a moment when he and I had a conversation on the phone where it's like, right, well, what do you want me to do with this? I don't really know what to do, or there wasn't any of that trying to figure it out. It was really just quite pure.
And what are you left with? Do you hear this as an album or as a collection of songs?
It's definitely an album now. I mean, it started out as a collection of songs, or it started out as a writing, kind of like a process of writing, and learning from that, really. We didn't sit down and say, let's make a record. It was just to see if we can write some songs together. And after about 5 or 6 pieces that we had done, we realised that it was kind of, you know, okay, this is turning into a record. And got very excited about that. But it's definitely an album, and to me it's an album that I'm still kind of like, I have 2 sides to that album. I'm kind of putting, you know, really kind of...
Do you mean literally like an A-side
yeah,
and a B-side?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Rich and I, that's one thing we did discuss. We're both big fans of gospel and blues music, and there's a lot of those influences in this music. But we're fans of like a record where there's like you listen to it. It's got it begins, it takes you on a little journey, and then
you flip the record over.
Yeah, and it leaves you in a place of reflection or whatever, and just feeling a sense of hope, or like you belong to something. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, David Bowie did that for me. It was like I was, you know,
Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, I mean, those records, they just took me to a place. I wanted to go live where he was living, you know.